Hi guys, welcome back to Known Oceans Travel. This is part 2 of our Lisbelona video. I'm here with my friend Emma from school and we are going to talk about the second leg of our trip. We went to Barcelona from Lisbon. So Emma, hello. It's nice to have you back again. Yeah, we're still in the same clothes. So we flew as you may have seen in the last video, we flew from Dublin to Lisbon and spent 4 days in Lisbon. And then we flew from Lisbon airport to Barcelona and then Barcelona back to Ireland. So again, all those flights were booked individually, which you'll know if you read the how to book the cheapest flights article, you'll see that there are a lot of tips and tricks in there about how to get them. We arrived in Barcelona early. Now we used Uber for the entire trip. As opposed to local taxis, given the fact that at the time, with the limited amount of money that we had, it was just an easier way for us to guarantee where we were going because we couldn't find the right bus routes. This doesn't happen everywhere.
I liked how we could track where we were going, so you could have it side to side, make sure you're going in the right direction, which obviously when you're two young girls going abroad, it's a fear. So it was nice to it was nice to know where we were going.
For the location of the hotel and how nice it was so cheap. Like,
incredible.
We were there 3 nights because what we did was we got a late flight on the last day. The location was great and it was right beside the metro stations, and the metro stations are fantastic in Barcelona. So we did make use of those. We didn't use too many Ubers or anything like that. We did stick with we got a bus, I think, to the airport on the last day, actually. The Barcelona trip, we both had a lot of things on our to-do list. Lisbon was much more relaxed because we decided, we'd find what to do when we got there. The first day that we were there, we just had a quick run around the city. We got our bearings. And then we went to the Magic Fountain show.
Which was incredible.
Incredible, but incredibly packed.
Oh my, there were thousands upon thousands of people there. It was crazy.
The one thing that you will hear about Barcelona, and thankfully we didn't get caught with it, the pickpocketers are very popular.
I'd recommend a bum bag. Yeah. I felt very safe with that.
Yeah, and I was the same.
You had one too, didn't you?
I did. I didn't wear it everywhere, but I did have one. But hold on to everything you have. And I hate being a scaremonger when it comes to it, but Barcelona, particularly the Magic Fountain, it's so packed that it's so easy to get caught off guard.
And I found that we were constantly, so when we got to it, it had kind of already started, but we were constantly moving, and people are constantly moving to get closer, to leave, to go somewhere else. People would walk through the crowds to get to other places. So I just find that with the amount of movement, making sure that you had everything close with you and very close to your person was very important.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is incredibly important to just keep an eye on everything you have, particularly around there, and the more popular parts of the city where there are crowds. If there is a crowd, just grab onto everything. You look kind of strange, but it doesn't matter because you just can't take that risk.
Exactly.
The second day that we were there, myself and Emma had tickets pre-booked for the Sagrada Familia, which is the huge cathedral that is still not finished. It's supposed to finish in 3 years' time. And we did a tour of that, an audio tour, and it was great because we could just go at our own pace. But we also got tickets for one of the towers. And
which was incredible.
It was incredible. You get a lift up to the tower and you get entire views of the city. You get to choose as well which side you go on. Before you book your tickets, you get to choose which side because they all have a story. The one thing I will say is coming down. It is a teeny tiny like spiral staircase.
I actually have a video of coming down of how narrow the stairs are, and you don't even have a railing. It's like a big block of concrete and it's a wall, and it just loops around it.
Yeah, it was. If you are not good with heights, I would not recommend it. Stay on the ground. I would not recommend it. When you get down, there are benches beside the exit of this like tower, because people have to sit down, and my legs were vibrating.
I remember
They were
your
shaking.
legs were shaking. Now I'm fine with heights. I'm absolutely grand with heights. But
I wouldn't be fantastic.
I was a bit like, I felt my heart in my chest going down, because I was like, if someone slips above me, we're all going down.
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad I did it, but I personally will never do it again.
Would you do it again?
No. No.
I would go up the other tower. I would do the thing again. I wouldn't be not go to Barcelona and not see the Sagrada Familia. You can't.
It's one of those things that if you go to Barcelona, you have to go. So that day, then we actually split up that afternoon, and I went to see the another. So the Sagrada Familia is done by Gaudi. He's an architect. I went to see another Gaudi building, and Emma went to hike Mount Tibidabo. Tibidabo,
I think.
Tibidabo.
I wanted to tell the Joey story.
Yeah, so Emma's going to give you a recap on why it's not the best thing to do. You can just get the bus.
So we had left the Sagrada Familia. We said our goodbyes, and I remember Roma being like, send me your location so I can track you the whole way.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing. I am not a traveler or anything like that. So I remember going, right, I need to get to the bottom of this. So I typed it on Google Maps. I'm not joking. I hiked the whole bloody city of Barcelona. I hiked it all. It took me at least an hour and a half before I even got to where I thought I was. So then I started walking up this road. Now, I knew instantly I am not at the right place. But I was like, if I keep walking as Google Maps is showing me, it'll probably lead me onto the right road. It didn't. I got very, very high up this mountain. It was probably Mount Tibidabo, but it was not the actual tourist path. And then I got to a place and there was like a dog pound beside me, and it was really, really sketchy. I'm not one to overthink stuff like this. Had taken a lot of weird turns. So I was like, I'm out. I called Roma, she got my location, and I ran. And I ran straight down. I found a train. I waited for the train. I got on the train and I got back to the city.
I think I might have met you at the train station.
You met me at the metro, and I remember just running and giving you a hug.
Yeah, so thankfully, it was the best outcome that could have happened there, and we are very glad to be able to tell the story. So
yes, it was. I will never go off hiking by myself. If I was to do that again, I would get an Uber to the actual entrance of the tourist walk up.
Yeah.
I would not try and take matters into my own hands.
Yeah.
Like what I did. That was stupid of me. Definitely will not do that again. I would recommend, if you're going up on a hike or something like that, go with someone. Don't go off by yourself. Mm-hmm. If no one is up for going with you, just...
Yeah.
Now, another bit onto this story is I have Crohn's disease. So I had a coffee in the morning, and anyone who has Crohn's disease will know what I'm on about. I had an incident. I didn't have any medication with me. They were all in the hotel.
So as somebody with an underlying condition, how did you find it traveling?
We went from Lisbon to Barcelona. We done something every day. We didn't have a break day. If I was going again, I would add in a break day. Mm-hmm. I know it's a bit annoying to go and spend so much money and not to get the most out of every day. But for someone with a health condition, I would definitely get a break day to gather myself. Now, like I said, I can have an incident at any time, anywhere. I just had to be prepared. I was not on this occasion. I don't know why I didn't. I've learned since then, no matter where I go, I have medication. But it was okay. Once I came up to you, you were very helpful. You were like, right, let's get back. We got back to the hotel pretty quickly. I was a bit sick for the night, but not overly sick, that I was still able to go and do things.
The weather in Barcelona that particular trip wasn't actually fantastic. The weather was much
I remember when we did
Lisbon.
go up Mount Tibidabo, we were very disappointed with the scenery.
So we actually did get up the top of it. We were getting a bus to see the cathedral on the top. It was very, very foggy that day. So it made it very difficult.
I know it was kind of raining.
Yeah, it wasn't really that nice. Now again, you know, that just happens and you have to get on with it. But it was frustrating because we had gone all the way up this mountain and we couldn't see anything in front of us.
Nothing.
And there was an amusement park there as well, and it was closed. So we kind of got up there and we're like, okay. And then we headed back down.
Let's just leave. Yeah.
Yeah. So then another day then that we really like spent the entire day, we went our separate ways in the morning. I went and did a hop on, hop off bus tour. So you all know how much I love hop on, hop off bus tours, and myself and Jack have done a video about it as well. So while we were doing that, Emma decided to go and do something completely different.
So I went to this place. It's this company called Excursions Barcelona, and I went snorkeling and kayaking. The whole process of getting there was brilliant. I walked out of the hotel. I got an Uber to this pickup point. They actually meet you at a really central place in Barcelona, and you drive up on the bus. It was maybe about an hour up on the bus, and I went alone. Now, when I had gotten there, and they kind of split us into groups, when we went out on the actual kayaking, it was everyone had a double kayak except for me. Now, there was an odd number of people. So the instructor was like, do you want to go on a double kayak with me, or do you want your own kayak? Now, I had been previously kayaking before. I know how to kayak. So I said, no, I'll take my own, which was fine. Now, part of the terms and conditions is you need to be a strong swimmer. I was perfectly fine in the kayak. You'll see some pictures. It was amazing. I definitely recommend it. It took the entire day. It was great to get into the water. The beach was amazing. It was lovely because when I was coming back on the bus, I knew exactly where I was going to be let off, and it was the same place. The company itself and all the people are incredibly helpful. They showed me a quicker way to get back to the hotel when I actually got there, and it was really good.
Yeah. So while Emma was doing that, I did the hop on, hop off bus tour. I will link it below. It was a little bit more expensive than the Lisbon one. It was the same company, but I spent the entire day on the buses and I went everywhere, and it was fantastic. I got to see everything I wanted to see. The one other thing I think that we did actually do, we went up the cable cars to Montjuic Castle. There is videos going to go in over here, and I hope the audio, because all you can hear is the two of us terrified because it started to get windy.
Oh god, it's getting fucking windy. Oh my god.
It was very difficult to find, which sounds silly
God,
because
we were walking for ages.
In the wrong direction, and then started walking again.
Yes.
It took us a really long time to find, but we weren't.
We found a cool kind of garden thing.
Yeah.
Remember, we ended up walking through these gardens, and they were really nice.
Yeah, we walked through a park, and it was great. We did get to see some like nice parts of the city, but it did take us a while to find. The tickets were cheap to get up to it, and then you could go inside the castle there, and the views from the castle were absolutely fantastic. You could see the entire city. You could see the Sagrada Familia. You could see Mount Tibidabo as well from where you were. It was just there are two mountains inside in the city, and it was fantastic. It's kind of like two
levels, weren't there? Yeah,
there was 2 levels, so you could get off at the mid level if you wanted, or keep going up to the castle. But it was a fantastic like list of activities to do. So on the last day, we ended up trying to just take in the city without spending too much more money. It was the last day. We didn't really have that much to spend, so we just walked up and down Las Ramblas, and we went into the food market, and it was insane. I think we did end up picking up some food, and just it was amazing. We stored our baggage in the hotel, because most hotels will allow you to do that as well, just as a note. So we walked up and down Las Ramblas. Again, keep an eye on your stuff, because it is a busy part of the city, and it is known for pickpocketers. wallets, the whole lot go missing. Getting a bus back to the airport, and our flight was delayed coming home, and it was the kind of flight that we got in at like midnight and got the bus back down to Galway. Obviously depending on where you're living, that can be kind of awkward if you are to try and get a bus home. All in all though, the trip itself was more expensive than Lisbon. We knew that going in because like just from pre-booking everything, we knew that things were going to be that bit more expensive. It was definitely worth it. I don't know if I'd go back.
Oh really? I would go back to Barcelona.
Yeah, personally I don't know if I'd go back. Maybe not as a student. I would like to be able to stay with money.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a must visit. It is a gorgeous city. Emma, thank you so much for coming on. When we are able to travel again, where is the first place that you want to go?
I think I want to go to Paris with Steve. Steve wants to see the catacombs. I want to go to Disneyland.
Okay.
Two very different things.
Yeah, very different. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to eat croissants.
Yeah, it was worth it. Well, fingers crossed it won't be too much longer. Thank you so much again, Emma, for coming on. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Feels very weird saying that, but please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want,
and hit the bell button.
Yeah, and turn on notifications so that you can see our pretty faces every time we decide to come on. If you want to check out a written version of this entire trip, Lisbon and Barcelona, please check the website. There are written day-by-day itineraries and the cost overview so that you can see exactly how much it'll cost and where you can cut corners. Thank you so much, guys, and we will see you again.